Love is in the air, or is that violence? As fighting games have taught us, anything can be turned into a tool of battle, including raw emotion. For some characters, they can weaponize the feelings or idea of love. I like to call these characters the Cupids of fighting games, since instead of making you fall in love with your soulmate, they either use their powers to make their opponent fall in love to gain a brief advantage or deal damage and finish off their foe, or they can just fight with pure love and turn it into a physical object, like kisses or hearts that can hurt or even heal. For these characters, Valentine's Day is the right time to strike. So let's go over my top 10 Cupids in fighting games. Or I could just avoid confusion with metaphors and call it the top 10 characters that fight with love in fighting games, but that title does not roll off the tongue as well. Number 10. Sonya Blade, Kitana, and Mileena from Mortal Kombat. In the early days of Mortal Kombat, all the ladies sealed their fights with a kiss. Sonya blew a kiss of fire, reducing you to a skeleton. She enjoyed this fatality so much that she integrated it into her moveset, replacing the fire with stunning toxins. Kitana kissed you, causing your body to expand or stretch until it exploded. Mileena had the same animation as Kitana, but just kind of drinks you and spits out the bones. Tanya followed this trend in Mortal Kombat 4 by having a kiss fatality that causes the opponent to contort and explode. D'Vorah can also kill with a kiss, but that's cutscene only. Though if I had to award this spot to just one character, it would probably be Mileena. It fits her personality. She is meant to lure you in with her body, to come in for that kiss that she is promising. Come on, no one is actually expecting her to have horrifying teeth under the mask, right? Right? The eyes were a tip-off, weren't they? Number 9. Xiao Lan from King of Fighters Maximum Impact Regulation A. I'm glad King of Fighters just went back to numbering titles after this one. Xiao Lan is an assassin, but she's actually a nice woman who does not like her job. That being said, it's her job for a reason. She does well in mixing her hidden assassination techniques with a bit of seduction. One of her attacks is a poison kiss, where she kisses the opponent and dispenses poison into their body, which leaves them poisoned for the rest of the match. I guess this kiss is covert enough since no one struggles to escape it. No character questions why Xiao Lan takes 3 seconds to gently embrace and then kiss mouth to mouth. Her opponents must think, she's attractive, I can live with this. Maybe they're thinking that the woozy feeling of poison now in their bloodstream is actually the tingly sensation of love. Number 8. Tiffany Lords from Rival Schools. She's the only character on this list that actually uses her power of love to only heal rather than harm. Her Kiss Assist move, appropriately named Love and Peace, will heal her partner. The partner knocks back the foe, and Tiffany will jump in and give the partner a quick smooch to regain health. A little heart even appears, and she'll jump right in her partner's arms. It's like they haven't seen each other for years. She commits. However, what really gets her on this list is that this is the only attack to actually have Cupid himself. He just flies around the characters when this move is active. I know it's just an effect, but this is the closest thing to having the video's metaphor taken literally. Number 7. Princess Peach from Super Smash Bros. Peach in many Mario games where she's playable is pretty flirtatious, throwing out hearts in some of her attacks, which transfers over in Super Smash Bros. In Brawl and Smash 4, some of her attacks cause hearts to burst out on impact. Somehow, Peach has found a method to turn love into pure energy that cannot be contained when the opponent is struck by contact, most notably during her flying butt attack. Maybe love is instilled in all these attacks which makes them so powerful. Peach's ultimate act of love is in her final smash, Peach Blossom. Just hearts fly everywhere, she becomes the center of attention, and she uses her power of passion to put her opponent in a daze from her sheer, beauty, wisdom, the look in her sometimes glassed over eyes? No matter the reason, Peach can manifest love in both a physical and magical form. While she cannot pull a full-on Cupid and temporarily attract the opponent using these powers, she decides to take the alternative route by showing love hurts. Number 6. Heart Aino from Arcana Heart. This character is basically the embodiment of the emotion love. Her ultimate goal is to spread love and happiness, so it's almost like she is trying to take the role of Cupid. However, that's not even the main reason she's on this list. Her attitude on life is that any problem can be solved with love. If that problem involves a brawl of some nature, it seems it could still be resolved with love since her moveset literally uses that Huey Lewis power of love. The arcana that gives Heart her powers is Partinius, the spirit of love. So basically, all of Heart's attacks have pure love infused in them. Her main love-themed attacks include the Heartful Punch, Iron Fist Punch of Love, Special Kick of Love, and the super duper amazing these names are too sugary for my diet. Even her hair makes a heart and technically spells her name. And those attacks still do not include Partinius' attacks, which adds pure love in the form of damaging energy. To keep it brief, giant lasers and spheres of love. Just because she's an arcana of love does not mean she's an arcana of mercy. Number 5. Poison from Final Fight Revenge and Street Fighter. Now we're getting into the characters that have some otherworldly power to infatuate the opponent. In Poison's first fighting game appearance, Final Fight Revenge, the super move Poison Kiss makes Poison's foe mentally see some risque imagery of the pink-haired fighter, putting them in a lust-fueled daze. At least I'm assuming they enjoy it to an extent since they have hearts revolving around their head after the kiss. When this move appeared in Ultra Street Fighter 4, Poison apparently lost the ability to project images in the opponent's head, so to make up for it, the visuals are replaced with a hearty kick to the groin. How passionate. The move is still activated by blowing a kiss, signified by a heart, so you cannot escape the love when Poison's around. Many of Poison's other moves in Street Fighter are also themed around love, just going by the name, such as Love Me Tender, Whip of Love, and of course, Love Storm, which is a full-on spanking assault where no cheek is left unsmacked. Number 4. Chun-Li in Pocket Fighter. Pocket Fighter was Capcom's tongue-in-cheek fighting game, using chibi versions of characters from various Capcom fighting games. Characters use combinations of their own attacks, references to other Capcom games, and just random goofy things. One of which is Chun-Li's Love Letter combo, where she turns into a schoolgirl and gives her opponent, or I guess crush, a heart-sealed envelope with a letter confessing her love. The opponent reads it and instantly falls in love, which deals damage. I can't really analyze the physics of this attack, but you can assume the emotions the receiver feels when reading this letter overwhelm their heart and body. The attack is simply a glorified command grab, so it will not automatically KO, but it still shows if you don't like her, Chun-Li will make you love her without resorting to physical violence. Number 3. Elphelt Valentine from Guilty Gear. She is a hopeless romantic who just wants to get married and is willing to be with anyone in her sights. Always dressed as a bride, Elphelt's moveset partially has to do with her bride motif, such as her bouquet with hidden knives, popping champagne, and putting you on top of a wedding cake that she slices. She also uses lots of guns, which initiates the sole move that got her this high on the list, her instant kill Magnum Wedding. This is like an upgraded Chun-Li love letter since it guarantees both victory and true love. Well, fake love. She pulls a Bon Jovi and shoots her opponent through the heart with the Magnum. However, instead of a violent death, it hits the heart metaphorically, instantly infatuating the opponent with Elphelt. Though it seems their heart's saying let's go, but their body is saying no since they immediately pass out. I don't even know how effective this bullet is since some characters verbally object to this attraction. Those characters are either in relationships or have another reason. I assume the infatuation wears off at the end of the finishing move based on her win quotes implying she will let the opponent go once she learns the character is in a relationship or interested in someone else. She may force you to fall in love with her for 10 seconds, but she will eventually respect personal boundaries. Number 2. Kisara Westfield from Aggressors of Dark Combat. Aggressors of Dark Combat was SNK's and ADK's attempt at a Mortal Kombat style game, as in the mechanics of the game World Heroes with the violence and misspellings of Mortal Kombat. Kisara was the most entertaining character to come out of this game, considering she was more comedic, being a thin schoolgirl among various generic burly fighters. Her uniqueness was bolstered by the fact that she was the only character that premiered in this game to be playable in another game. While a lot of her moveset is pretty standard for an acrobatic character with a painful under-the-radar low blow, her finishing move claimed her this spot on the list. The finishing moves in this game were usually brutal barrages of attacks, but Kisara had a more humorous one called Jealousy Bomber. She fires a heart at her opponent, which dazes him and makes him fall in love with Kisara. While her opponent recovers from Cupid's figurative arrow, Kisara summons an illusion of a guy and makes out with him in front of her now love-struck opponent, causing their heart to explode with jealousy and lose the match. While Chun-Li and Elfelt's moves end with the foe falling in love, Kisara uses the infatuation as a harmless tool in the overall attack. So falling in love does not just randomly hurt the fighter. It may be cruel, but it's a handy way of combining 3 powers we never see a single character utilize at once: Cupid-like power, hologram projection, and PDA. Number 1 is the character that always comes to mind when I think of love-themed fighting game characters. She may be a succubus, but that's why I put quotes around the word Cupid in the title. Number 1. Morgan from Darkstalkers. Being a temptress of the night, she is all about satisfying her romantic needs and seducing her opponent. Unlike other characters on this list that rely on a specific attack or tool to infatuate the opponent, the entire fight is Morgan's method of attraction. Fighting allows her to get close to her foe to seduce them with her gaze and overall moves in battle, with the help of her succubus powers.
You've been naughty. Well, does it feel?
Level 4! Beautiful!
While she wants to have some fun when fighting, one of her goals seems to be using her temptation powers to sap some of her opponent's soul, which powers her up and keeps her healthy.
I want you, body and soul.
Hey, the Soul Fist needs soul, and Morgan isn't just gonna waste some of her own. She then uses this love energy that she gained in one fight to repeat the process of seduction with someone else. She is more of an anti-hero, so she does not use her powers maliciously. She thinks it's just fun to play with the hearts of men, and women, and robots. While many of her attacks are more about shape-shifting and doing damage, some of them help accentuate her features, like Darkness Illusion where she clones herself, or some of her many magical clothing changes, and the more upfront move where she puts on a private dance show for her opponent that somehow causes damage. Yeah, use your imagination. No matter the method of attack or attraction, don't let the wiles of Morgan fool you into letting her play with your heart.
Is that all you got?
Actually, yeah, it was, but it doesn't change the fact that Morgan is the most twisted, love-themed fighter in fighting games. So what did you think of these choices? Any love users in fighting games that stand out to you, whether they were discussed or not? Let me know. This was a pretty interesting topic, so I'd like to see what you all thought of it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you love in fighting games, maybe you would enjoy last year's Valentine's Day video on fighting game couples. Or perhaps you'd love to do something else with your free time and let the video end. Regardless, see you all in the next video.